Some stories were buried. Some truths were erased. This is Vale. It was supposed to be one of the happiest days of the year. The kind of day families plan months in advance. The kind of day strangers cheer for strangers. A day filled with music, flags, laughter, and thousands of shoes striking pavement. April sunlight washed over the streets. Cold air, but bright skies. Perfect running weather. Perfect celebration weather. Nobody woke up that morning expecting history to split into a before and an after. Because sometimes the most tragic days begin looking completely ordinary. And that's what makes them so dangerous. Because when everything feels safe, you stop looking for threats. You stop noticing the small things. The quiet things. The things that don't belong. And that's exactly when disaster slips in unnoticed. The city was already awake before sunrise. Volunteers setting up barricades. Police guiding traffic. Vendors selling coffee and snacks. Runners stretching their legs, pinning numbers to their shirts, adjusting watches. Some had trained for years. Some were running their very first marathon. Some were running in memory of loved ones. Some just wanted to cross the finish line and prove something to themselves. More than 20,000 runners. 500,000 spectators. One city completely alive. The finish line was electric. Crowds packed shoulder to shoulder. Parents lifting kids onto their shoulders. Phones raised in the air recording everything. Music blasting through speakers. Cheers echoing down the street like waves. It felt safe. It felt joyful. It felt normal. And danger loves normal. Because normal never sees it coming. Somewhere inside that crowd, two young men walked quietly. No uniforms. No masks. No weapons visible. Just backpacks. The same kind thousands of people carried that day. Nothing special. Nothing suspicious. They didn't run. They didn't act nervous. They didn't hide their faces. They simply blended in. Like everyone else. That was the terrifying part. They looked exactly like the crowd they were about to destroy. They stood near the barricades. Watched runners approach the finish. Watched families cheer. Watched children laugh. And then, they placed their backpacks down. Gently. Casually. Like someone setting down groceries. And walked away. No rush. No panic. Just disappearing into the noise of celebration. Minutes passed. Nothing happened. The race continued. Another runner crossed the line. Then another. Then, a flash. A sharp crack. Like thunder exploding at street level. For half a second, people didn't react. Brains tried to explain it away. Fireworks? A speaker blowing? Construction noise? Then smoke shot into the air. Dark. Thick. Rolling outward fast. People turned. Confused. And before confusion could settle, the second explosion hit. Closer. Louder. Violent. The shockwave slammed into the crowd. Metal fragments tore through air like invisible bullets. Windows shattered. Barricades flipped. People dropped instantly. And suddenly the cheering stopped. Replaced with screaming. Raw, desperate screaming. The kind of screaming you only hear when something is truly wrong. Phones fell to the ground still recording. Smoke swallowed the finish line. Some people froze. Some ran blindly. Some searched for loved ones, shouting names over and over. And some ran toward the smoke. Police officers, volunteers, strangers, people who didn't think, people who just helped. Because in moments like that, instinct takes over. They lifted debris, tore shirts into bandages, carried injured runners across the street, tourniquets made from belts, hands shaking but moving anyway. No one knew if another bomb was waiting. No one knew if the attackers were still nearby. But they moved forward anyway. Because leaving someone behind felt worse than the danger ahead. And a silence between screams that felt heavier than anything else. 3 lives gone. Hundreds injured. Some permanently. Some losing legs. Some losing hearing. Some losing someone they loved. And the scariest part? No one knew who did it. Or why. Or if it was finished. That uncertainty spread faster than fear. Because when you don't know who attacked you, everyone becomes suspicious. The city changed instantly. Subways stopped. Roads blocked. Armed officers on every corner. Helicopters scanning rooftops. News spreading worldwide in seconds. People glued to their screens. Watching. Waiting. Asking the same question. Who did this? Investigators worked through the night. Thousands of hours of footage. Security cameras. Store cameras. Traffic cameras. Cell phones. Every angle possible. Faces. Bags. Movements. Replayed again and again. Looking for one tiny mistake. One moment that didn't fit. Then they saw them. 2 figures. Walking calmly. backpacks still on their shoulders, moments before the blast, then walking away seconds after. No panic, no shock, just normal. Too normal. Photos were released to the public, and overnight, millions of people joined the hunt. The internet turned into a giant investigation room. Zooming, enhancing, sharing, speculating. Everyone's searching for answers. But the story didn't end quietly. It escalated. Fast. The suspects didn't hide. They attacked again. A police officer ambushed and killed. A car hijacked. Explosives thrown at officers during a chase. Gunfire echoing through dark streets. Neighborhoods lit by flashing lights. One suspect killed during the shootout. The other escaped. Vanished. Somewhere inside the city. And that's when fear truly set in. Because now, it wasn't just an investigation. It was a manhunt. Boston went silent. Schools closed. Transport stopped. People ordered indoors. An entire city frozen. Empty streets. Locked doors. Curtains drawn. It felt unreal. Like the world had paused. Like something was hunting in the dark. House by house, officers searched. Backyards. Garages. Sheds. Attics. Everywhere. Hours passed. Nothing. Then, a man stepped outside after the lockdown lifted. Just checking his yard. Normal. Routine. And he noticed something strange. His boat tarp was ripped. There was blood. He leaned closer. Something moved. He called police. Within minutes, the street filled with officers. Weapons raised. Surrounding the boat. Flashbangs exploded. Shouts echoed. And inside, the final suspect was found. Hiding. Bleeding. Exhausted. The manhunt ended in one backyard. Quietly. After all that chaos. But even after the arrest, questions stayed. How did two young men cause so much destruction? How did they stand in a crowd for hours without anyone noticing? How many people walked right past them, smiling unaware? That's the part that lingers. The part that unsettles people most. Because evil didn't arrive wearing a mask. It didn't look like a villain. It looked ordinary, like everyone else. That's what makes it terrifying. This wasn't fiction. This wasn't a movie. This really happened. A celebration turned into smoke. A race turned into tragedy. A city changed forever in 12 seconds. And for those who were there, the sound of that explosion never fully fades. Welcome to Vale.